Hello folks, it's JDporkchop and welcome to another episode of Kerbal Space Program 1.1. Today, the moon. I think we've kind of got to that point now where we really should kind of try and push on. And we need more science, and the best place to get that is on the surface of the moon. So, we are going to build a rocket, and I'm hoping that by the end of this episode we'll be able to land it on the moon. So I'm going to build at least some of it on camera, just because I personally, when I'm watching other YouTubers play Minecraft, I would like to see kind of how their thought process of building their rockets kind of works. So we're going to do at least some of it on camera. So we're going to build the landing part. I want to get the absolute maximum amount of science that I can out of this. Now, if we remember last time, these pods burnt off, so I'm going to try and get them as high up on here as possible, so that they are out of the way of the slipstream and we're burning back through the atmosphere. We'll also add a couple of thermostats to the back here. We have one parachute on top, and I'm going to put another couple on the side, but it's going to be the drone ones, just to slow us down as we come in through the atmosphere. I think I didn't mean to do that. I think it's good to be able to kind of slow ourselves down with parachutes, rather than snapping off the main one as we come through, which we have done a couple of times. Right, so try that again. So we'll have one there, and we'll have another one there. Cool. So that's the main pod part. We then just need to stick a heat shield on the bottom, not that one. This one. There we go. Right, so what next? Well, we're going to need some fuel, and now my only worry now is that it's going to be quite top heavy. So if we maybe actually, instead of putting a big tank on, we put a little one on, and then because it's quite top heavy, I don't need to do that, do I? I can just stick them straight on the side. And also because that's obviously not going to be enough fuel to get us back, we could 6 fit. Look at that. Could be an interesting design. What do you think? And then we'll just stick that. It looks a little over the top to me. I don't know. Because obviously, if we, what I'm trying to say is, if we build it like this, and we put this one on, and then on the bottom of that, you have the feet. Where are they? Where's the feet? There they are. Then, you know, it's quite tall. You know, so it topple over quite easily. And the wider the base, you know, the less likely it is going to be to topple. So, well, how about instead of putting 6 on, we'll put 4 on? Is that going to be enough fuel? Or, I'll tell you another thing we could do. We could put a big one in the middle, but then still have the extra wide base by putting 4 on the side, like that. Maybe even lifting them up a little bit. Try and offset the it being so tall. Then rockets. Now what I'll probably do is we get fuel pipes here and stick them on here. So now, whoops, now the this one is going to feed into these 4, so we don't have to have a central rocket here. I can just stick the decoupler straight on the bottom. that's a good play. Intergalactic space nipples. What else do we need? You put the feet on. There we go. Now we don't have any lighting yet, so when we make our landing, we have to try to make sure we're landing on the light side of the moon. But normally I would fit some lights here, pointing down, so that you illuminate the floor as you're going down. I don't think we need radiators. I'm going to stick a couple of batteries on, just so we have them, and then stick on a antenna. Just because there is some science, there are some things that you can send back that are, you get like 100%. Like ship reports and stuff, you'll always get 100% of the data back for that. So it doesn't really hurt to have it. Right, let's just go through all the categories, make sure we have everything that we want fitted. We have an engine, got SAS, probably fit some more SAS somewhere, but that'll be enough for the actual pod part. We'll stick some of this on. It's just keep everything nice and solid, so it doesn't wiggle. Does that look fairly? Yeah, that looks pretty good. Structural fuselage. Then I guess we're sticking this bit in the middle. There we go. And we just have to make sure that... Well, I'll tell you what I haven't done. I haven't put a decoupler in between this and this, which is a bit silly. There we go. So now we leave this bit, will be the last bit that we leave, and it's just this pod and the science bit that comes back. Cool. Right. What next? Right, we could use this again, but I'm not sure if this is going to be powerful enough. Don't need too silly. So, whoops. Put that back. So I don't know. Oh, got done. So I think what I'm going to do is build another one of these, a newer one with the larger fuel tanks, off camera, and then show it to you when we get to the launch pad. Okay, so I'll be back in a second, guys. Alright, this is what I have come up with. It is a monstrosity. I have a horrible feeling this is going to blow up about 10 foot off the ground, but we will see. So we have 4 main boosters, which will fire, then drop away. I need to sort the staging out. Staging's all wrong, but it's going to be 4 main boosters, then a main rocket, and these 4 side rockets. Because obviously this is all quite heavy, and I haven't unlocked the big rockets yet, so the big engines. So I've got 4 of these plus this to get this off the ground. Then that blows away. Then hopefully this bit will kind of get us out of the atmosphere. This bit will get us into orbit. This bit will get us heading towards the moon. And then this bit will land us and get us back. So, I don't know. I have to admit, I'm not particularly confident that this is even going to get into orbit, but we will see. So I'm going to sort the staging out and meet you on the launch pad in just a second. I had a very quick thought before we go shooting off into space. We should upgrade this, because if we upgrade it, it means we can do... Upgrade? So... Yes, we can now do EVAs and place flags. So before, when we went up to the moon, we were never going to be able to get out the spaceship and plant a flag, which to me seems a bit rubbish, you know. So that's that sorted. So we make sure when you're going to the moon, upgrade that. Next, and we are ready to go. just for the record, I have named this ship the Apollo 11.1 because it seemed like a fitting name. And we are all pretty much ready to go. So SAS on, throttle to max, press F5, just so I remember to do it, and lift off, sort of. It's like the slowest lift off in history. I think I'll fire the main rockets as well, main engines, just to give us a bit more lift. There we go, now we're actually picking up a bit of speed. Well, it hasn't blown up yet. And if you look down in the bottom left corner, we have, it's not really kind of wiggling all over the place. The SAS isn't struggling to keep it straight. Just cut the power back a little bit. And we'll start tilting it over a little for our gravity burn. Oh! Oh, Jesus. Oh, well, that'll be that gone. Ah. Well. Oh no, it's all gone wrong. I think we'll have to abandon this flight and start again. Oh well. Okay, folks, looks like it's time for attempt number 2. I didn't change anything, but what we're going to do this time is when we get to the point of dropping the boosters, I think we're going to keep it straight, and we'll do the gravity turn after we drop the boosters. I forgot to turn the SAS on. That's why it's wiggling all over the place. There we go. So I think that's the better way to do it. Just because obviously as we were tilting, you would normally fit like a little mini booster on it so that they blow away from the ship and you don't have that problem of parts colliding with other parts. So what we'll do is we're going to cut the throttle right back now that those are almost done, and then we're going to release them and hit the throttle at the same time to sort of try and accelerate away. There we go. Works fine that time. All good. Right, so now that we've done that, we can start to do our gravity turn. We're at 16,000 feet. This main booster rocket thing, main engine liquid fuel thing, is almost done. So to get, well, maybe you can make it about 22,000 meters. I keep saying feet. Meters before it runs out. 24,000. So that's not bad. We're pretty much on target. This section I hope to break atmosphere with, and seeing as we're already, oh dear, hold on. Doesn't want to turn back. Doesn't want to turn back. Cut the engine. Why are you doing that? It's because it's too top heavy. That's why. We even remotely into space yet? No. 36,000 feet. Meters. Right, when it comes, kind of flips back over again, we'll try firing off the... Right. Let's stop spinning at least. Yeah, no, we should be okay. I'm sure NASA would be kind of like a little more worried than I am if one of their rockets sort of did a full somersault halfway through its launch sequence. But hey ho, it's Kerbal Space Program. I think we've lost too much momentum. I think we've just hit our peri-ups, apple ups. Yeah. I think this might be another abort. I knew this rocket was going to give me trouble. Okay, so the first 2 launches were a bit of a failure. The way I fixed the problem, because I did a couple more launches off camera, is this bit is too heavy. So when we drop the main kind of booster engine bit, this bit, when that drops, it becomes top heavy and it tips head over arse and becomes just uncontrollable. So the way that I have fixed that is making the bottom heavier. So instead of having two parts, I've just made it one huge big booster, which isn't as efficient, but it means that the weight will stay at the bottom for longer. I probably should have stuck some fins on it as well in all honesty, but can't be bothered going back and doing it now. So we'll just hope that this works. So this is Apollo 11.2. I hope this works out a little bit better. Well, it took off alright. I was kind of worried that it was going to be too heavy with the extra fuel, but it seems to be doing okay. And then we'll obviously we'll burn enough of this fuel down so that when we drop the boosters it shouldn't be too much of a problem. We shouldn't have too much of a loss of power, as it were. Whoa, whoa, Betsy. Ah, dear. Maybe I was a little bit too vigorous with the turning. I don't understand. How can this be heavier than all of this fuel? How can it be that? I don't know. Right, back to the drawing board. Okay, guys, I think I cracked it this time. I was a little less vigorous with my turn, and I stuck some fins on it. So finally, seem to have managed to break atmosphere. Almost. We're at 33 in the count climbing. I think I was just that last launch. I think I was just kind of smashing the buttons too much with my big fat fingers. You're just a little gentle with it. Whoa, Betsy. She's renaming this ship Betsy. I don't know where that saying's come from. Okay. So 55, 56. Let's have a look at. Okay, so well, we can stop now. We're really high up. I think I left because I left my turn quite late as well. Because I didn't want it to just flip, so I thought I'd rather just go straight up and then burn out here. But the fact that we're already at 100,000 meters above the surface of the planet, so we're in space now, and we still have all of this, which was designated get into orbit fuel, and all of this, which is my get us to the moon fuel. And I don't think we'll use all that to get into orbit. I mean, we've got a little bit left in this as well. Like a tiny, tiny little bit. But we'll see. But to me, I don't know. I think we're looking very strong. So I'm going to F5 it. And I'll probably come back in a minute, guys, when I've got it all, the orbit all straightened out. But yeah, so far so good. We are going to the moon. Okay, guys. Next technical issue. This doesn't have enough power to get this into orbit. I actually had to not only fire this and burn it, and we were losing altitude. We were going to dip back down into the atmosphere. To then go and fire off all four of these, which have very little power, and have used up pretty much all my fuel. So there's just no point going to the moon with this little fuel. So back to the drawing board. This needs to be more powerful, basically. So I'm going to probably just rip this engine off, put a different engine on. Might add some, I don't know. I might add something else as well. What I'm thinking I might do is build an asparagus rocket with the bottom section, which will make it even more powerful than it already is. I think that's probably the best thing to do, and that will get us not only into orbit, but probably, I don't know, well, we'll see. So back to the drawing board, guys. 3, 2, 1. So I don't think any problem can't be fixed with adding more rockets, more fuel. So with the bottom section, I've added just a little tiny more bit fuel to help get all the other bits I've added on up. We've added, this is a larger rocket now, plus a larger engine, plus these 4 side engines. I've also added more fuel up here for the burning to the moon section, and I'm now very, very strongly thinking that this won't even get off the ground, but we will see. So, throttle to max, SAS on. Hey, it flies! Excellent! Anyway, I'm not going to bore you with another failed launch, so I'm going to cut here, and if it makes it up, I'll cut in when we're up, and if it doesn't, I'll cut in when it starts going wrong. Well, I'm very impressed with this design. We are passing 40,000 feet, and I'm still on my main burning rocket. Booster. Boosters are the big chemical things, right? So, what do you call that? That's like your main engine rocket? I don't know. Because boosters are the white ones we've already dumped off. Somebody needs to tell me what the proper name for these things are. Or I can just go look it up. I'll just go watch Scott Manley not making an ass of himself. Like I do. But hey, right, so I'm going to cut it there and have a look. Yeah. Just about to pass past 70,000. This gets to 98, so I'll probably burn to about here and then start burning sideways. This is way more powerful than the thing we had before, but it will burn through the fuel very quickly. So we're basically just going to wait until we get right to the spot and then release it. So fast forward a little bit and get to here. Point it at the horizon. And go. There we go. Yeah, see, look, that's us gone. See, because that large rocket is so heavy, with the last design, we were already traveling about 900 meters a second when we went into that bit we've just used, meaning that we're now going too slow by the time we get up into the atmosphere. The only way to fix that is take that large rocket, break it in half, and put an engine in between. That's the whole reason that engines are staged, so that as you drop off more and more weight, you get faster and faster. So we're now burning into the fuel that's supposed to take us to the moon, but I've sort of calculated for extra, so it should be okay. But we are way past the Apple apps. Way past it. I can't seem to get a rocket to space at the moment, guys. I seem to have just become, I don't know, rubbish. Well, I was already rubbish, so there's no difference. This is what Kerbal's all about, right? You burn through 50 rockets before you actually get the design that works. I mean, there's people that actually know what they're doing. They look up the, what's it called? The Delta V or something? Yeah. They like look all that up and they can tell exactly like how much they need of stuff. Sorry, I've got the hiccups, something rotten right now. Right. Well, I don't see us getting to the moon, considering we've now once again burned up all our fuel and we're just using this bit. So, again, back to the drawing board. You guys, I'm sorry, but you're going to have to wait a little longer till I get this up into space by the looks of it. Okay, so after working through, I don't know, 10 different designs, I've come to the conclusion that I just don't have powerful enough rockets yet to send a large landing platform to the moon. So what I've done is shrunk everything down. We've ripped out the some of the science stuff. We've ripped out a lot of the fuel, made the whole thing lighter so that it's going to be more basically it's just so it's easier to get there. We gather the science. The science means we can unlock bigger engines, which means that we can send the larger platforms and the more science equipment to the moon in future. I think basically I was trying to take run before I could walk. So we're going to send the most basic lander to the moon possible, and hopefully that will work for us. So I'm going to launch this now. You've already seen like 3, 4, well, depending on how I edit this, 3 or 4 different launches and failures. So I'm not going to do this one on camera, but I will see you up in space. Or... or maybe not. I tell you, it's really not my day with this game. Let's try that again, eh? And finally, Orbit. I've just looked at the recording time for this episode, and I'm currently at 2 hours. So it's taken me 2 hours to get from platform to orbit. Obviously, I cut huge big chunks. I just leave the recording running when I film this, just so if there's any explosions or derps that it's caught on camera. So finally made it. We're gonna now start burning out towards the moon. We just need to find. Oh, so there we go. It's already on the horizon. So if we just kind of have a little look. Maybe start our burn right now. We've still got plenty of fuel left. This, which is just the to get us into orbit bit, has about 1/3 left. Then also we have this section here, so that's to get us to the moon, and then this section which is to get us landed and get us back. So I think I'm going to F5 here, and then we will see how things go. Anyway, guys, I'll come back to you when we get to the moon. There it is. Just because it's kind of boring this bit, but when we get to the moon, you can watch me crash again. All right. And look at that, guys! Finally, after 10 attempts, we are finally on the way to the moon. I am sorry that it has taken us this many attempts, but it's entertaining to watch me fail over and over again. Well, at least I hope it is. So I'm actually looking at having a load of extra fuel, because this was supposed to get me to the moon. Not only are we on the way to the moon, but we have tons left. Now this is a good thing. When we were landing the probe, I talked about how landing on the dark side of the moon is a very difficult thing to do. If you don't have any kind of lighting or anything. So with that extra fuel, it means I can put myself in an orbit and I can select my landing zone instead of just pointing at the moon and hope for the best, which originally was the plan. Anyway, I've just looked at the edited version of this. We're sitting around the half-an-hour mark. So I think what we'll do is we're going to wrap it up here. And what I'll say is in the next episode, we'll just pick it up straight away and we'll get landed, get a flag planted, you know, well, hopefully get landed if we don't smash into it at 100 miles an hour. But I didn't really want this displayed over 2 episodes, and I did think about cutting out all the disasters, but then I thought, well, that's Kerbal Space Program. The whole point of this game is you plan to do something, you fail 15 times, and you learn something along the way. So I think I'm going to leave in all the disasters and kind of wrap it up here, guys. So I've been JDporkchop. This has been Kerbal Space Program 1.1. I really hope you've enjoyed it so far. I hope you're looking forward to the next episode so we can get to the moon. And a like and a subscribe would be really appreciated, guys. It does help the channel. And I will catch you all later on. See you later.